After restaging my setup round the corner of our foundation and quickly run into the same issue of not having enough cement under my tile brick. This is a feel thing. You can feel when you don't have enough cement because it doesn't feel solid. So I just remove it, add more cement and return it to its position on the wall.
You come and go like a monsoon rain. You hide and show like a lightning bolt. You have it all.
In the last episode, I got the first step of our staircase completed. I measured and selected appropriate sized stones and then cemented them in place with the tile cement containing sandstone pigment so it'd help it blend with the stone. After letting it set up overnight, the next morning I wanted to clean up a little more of the tile cement residue. Most of the ceramicrete's still soft enough to be scrubbed off with a scourer. Some of the stubborn pieces, I'm using my paint scraper to get them off. Most cement and mortar products can be removed the following day after you've applied them. Little Gus, the property owner's dachshund, often says hello to me first thing in the morning when I get to the job site, which is a nice way to start the day. You can see here how easily the cement scrapes off, only being a day old. I'm paying particular attention to the steps, as when you're walking up the staircase, this is what you look at. By taking a look at everything we got stuck on the concrete foundation yesterday, I can double check for any cement spills and make a plan for the materials I want to get stuck on the foundation today. My goal is to stick on this next course of bricklets on our concrete foundation. I've selected and cut all the stone we're going to be using for this session and dry fit it to the wall as we did before. Here I'm just double checking the corner pieces to make sure we have a really tight alignment. Now I'm ready to mix up some of the ceramicrete and stick these to the wall. I have these planks of timber lined up on the bottom of the wall. This gives me somewhere to place the bricklets without getting them dirty whilst we're doing our cementing process. It's important to dampen all the materials before we start cementing them. The cement adheres much better to damp material than to dry material. I'm slightly changing the process of how we apply our ceramicrete on this side of the wall. Due to the way our formwork system left a relatively rough surface for us to stick the tiles to. I'm not using the tile rake, instead I'm creating a 3 to 5 mil layer of smooth ceramicrete for us to stick the tile on. After buttering our bricklet and placing it on the wall, sometimes it doesn't feel quite right because I haven't got enough cement underneath it. If it doesn't feel squishy, I pull the tile off, add some more cement and then squeeze it into place. This time there's a lot more cement squeezing out the side of the tile and it has the squishy, suctiony feel that you want when you've got a really solid contact. I tap it in with my rubber hammer to make sure it's got all its air bubbles out of it and then clean up the excess with my wet sponge.
You said let me tell you everything I've seen, the friends I've made, and then you tell me how you've been. Look a little closer, it's been quite some time. You gotta let me know if I'm out of line. But there's some words that I just wanna hear you say, to put it all straight before this night turns into day, and then I'm on my way. Yeah. Yes, I'm on my way.
After restaging my setup round the corner of our foundation, I continue the same process and quickly run into the same issue of not having enough cement under my tile brick. This is a feel thing. You can feel when you don't have enough cement because it doesn't feel solid. So I just remove it, add more cement and return it to its position on the wall. We should have cement squeezing out the edges when we've got enough mud behind it.
There's no cure for what you're telling me, and soon I'm on my way. Yes, I'm on my way.
When you've got enough ceramicrete on the back of your stone, it should squeeze out a little bit on the sides. And then I'm using my rubber hammer to help it match the flatness of the stones next to it. When I'm satisfied it's sitting in the right position, I clean it up with my wet sponge.
Underwater, so far out at sea. There's no cure for what you're telling me, and soon I'm on my way. Yes, I'm on my way.
With our wall part of the staircase halfway complete, I return my attention to the crazy paving pathway. Although we're not laying these pavers to an absolute fixed pattern, I'm sticking to a formula as a guide to how we lay these pieces out. I want to be able to cover the width of our 1200mm wide pathway with 3 stones whenever possible. The stone I'm selecting here should be large enough to take us all the way to the edge of the pathway. By placing it next to the stones we've already laid, I can see the corner already fits our layout. After getting an idea of where I need to trim it to fit it in place, I mark it with my pencil and level as a guide for my wet saw cut. With this large piece fitting nicely, I just need to cut a small piece to fill the void above it next to the edge of the pathway.
Look a little closer, it's been quite some time. You gotta let me know if I'm out of line. But there's some words that I just wanna hear you say, to put it all straight before this night turns into day, and then I'm on my way. Yes, I'm on my way.
I let these stones set in place overnight before I move on to working on the second step of our staircase. The pattern I've chosen for these steps is for the front and the top of the steps to match each other's edges in the layout. To continue the offset brick pattern we've established, the second step's going to have 4 pieces to cover its width. After selecting and cementing on 4 nice pieces for the front of the step, I do a little clean up in preparation for laying our horizontal pieces on top.
There's no cure for what you're telling me, and soon I'm on my way. Yes, I'm on my way.
It's important to scrub this tile cement off the following day, as it hardens up quite quickly and it's really hard to get off a few days later. Periodically checks in on what I'm doing and helps to remind me to take a break from my work.
You said, let me tell you everything I've seen, the friends I've made, and then you tell me how you've been.
The stone we need for the top of this step is going to match the pattern we've established on the front of the step. So I pencil out the position and then select some raw material that's going to fit those sizes.
But there's some words that I just wanna hear you say, to put it all straight before this night turns into day, and then I'm on my way.
I want to preserve as much of the grain in this stone, so I'm cutting as close to the edge as I can get away with.
A bit naive, I'm so eager to please. You know I played for love, but it got me on my knees.
To create a really tight join between our stones, I float this next piece of stone over the pre-existing stone that's been fit tight into the corner, using some 10mm packers so it can kind of hover above the stone as I scribe it with my pencil. By using this pencil line as a guide to trim this stone on my wet saw, we can see how we've got a really tight, accurate join between the two stones. I repeat this process for the other 4 stones we'll need for this step, and then cement them in place with our sandstone coloured mortar.
A bit naive and so eager to please. You know I played for love, but it got me on my knees. Now's the time to reap what I've sown. Your words echoing in every single bone. Underwater, so far out at sea, there's no cure for what you're telling me, and soon I'm on my way. Yes, I'm on my way.
This morning I want to talk about our design layout. I've changed the configuration so this piece is going to be wider than this piece, and these 2 side pieces will be narrower than what we've set on this bottom one, just to keep it a little more organic and random as it goes up this staircase. We've sort of set a rhythm here with 500mm in the middle and then 350 and 300 on either side on this bottom one. Then we went to 4 stones just to offset it, to give it a bricky pattern. So on this next step, I want to repeat this pattern but sort of reverse it to keep everything a little random and organic looking. I'm replenishing our stone supply, so we'll have plenty to choose from when we continue our staircase and crazy paved pathway in our next episode.
You said, let me tell you everything I've seen, the friends I've made, and then you tell me how you've been. Look a little closer, it's been quite some time. You gotta let me know if I'm out of line. But there's some words that I just wanna hear you say, to put it all straight before this night turns into day, and then I'm on my way. Yeah. Yes, I'm on my way.
Thanks for joining me this week on my YouTube channel. Check the link below, and while you're at it, hit the subscribe button or make a comment so I can help you with your future construction solutions. And don't forget to follow our channel for more ideas and how-to tips for home and garden projects.